Hey everyone, welcome to our Thursday Strength and Balance class. Today I'm not going to play any music during class, so if you'd like to pause this video and find your favorite yoga soundtrack, please do so. Spotify has some great ones if you just search yoga, and we're going to get started. So I want everyone to begin sitting on their mats. They can face forward. Coming into easy seated pose, we're going to just kind of find our place on our mat, set our focus to being here. Bringing your gaze straight out in front of you, rolling your shoulders back gently, slightly lifting your chest forward, and finding a straight line from your head, your chest, to your trunk. Your hands are gently on your knees. And I invite you to close your eyes here. We're going to begin our practice by inhaling through our nose and gently exhaling through our mouths. On your inhale, feel your chest begin to rise, rolling your shoulders back a bit more. And on your exhale, feeling your ribs come back towards your belly. Inhale, exhale. Moving at your own pace here. Beginning to let all of that extra stuff from today slide away. Slide off your shoulders and away from your mat. We'll gently take our hands into prayer, bringing our thumbs towards the center of our chest. Our eyes are still closed and our head is neutral, facing forward. Continuing to inhale through our nose and exhale through our mouth. I want you to begin to set an intention for yourself for these next 60 minutes. Gently bringing your forehead towards your hands, bowing towards your intention, and then bringing our hands back towards our knees. You can continue your practice of inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. Our practice today is a strength and balance practice. It's a moderate flow, so we won't be moving too fast. We'll be moving with intention. We'll move through some challenging poses. One suggestion for a prop that you have is a block. If you don't have a block, today I don't have a block, but I have 2 books. So if you'd like to take a moment to pause your video and find a couple of books to bring to the top of your mat, that would be great. We're only going to be using them, like I said, for one pose. So keeping these at the top of your mat is best. As you continue to breathe here, I just want to remind you all that yoga at its core is non-harm. It's finding a balance between our breath, our body, our soul. And we're pushing ourselves, but we're not pushing ourselves too much to an edge. We're really staying in tune with our body and listening to what it wants, what feels good, and taking into consideration what is too much sometimes. So thinking about that non-harm, but also thinking about what moves can I do in my body that will feel good. And if at any point you're feeling a sensation that doesn't feel right or brings you pain, I want you to come out of that position. You can move into one of its modifications or a pose we were in before. You can also know that child's pose is waiting for you. Child's pose is constantly available to us. Let's begin to gently open our eyes, finding a gaze in front of us. We're going to inhale our arms up towards the sky, bringing our palms together, clasping our hands and exhaling, bringing our palms right towards our head or right behind it. Inhaling, flipping our palms up towards the sky again. Exhaling, our hands come down. Inhale, bringing your arms together, your palms are meeting, clasping your hands. Exhaling, with your palms facing the floor, you're bringing your hands down. Flip your palms to face the ceiling, bringing our arms back up. Exhaling, bringing our arms down. I want you to move with this breath at your own pace. We're beginning practice by warming up our bodies. Gentle movements. We'll do 2 more. Bringing our hands towards our knees. Taking an inhale through our nose and an exhale through our mouth. We'll begin to move into tabletop. In the middle of our mat, bringing our wrists underneath our shoulders and our knees underneath our hips. I want you to take a moment to look at your hands. We want our fingers to be spread apart, but there to be a natural curve in between our thumbs and our index fingers. Shift your gaze from in between your hands to the front edge of your mat. This will allow us to have a straight line from our head towards our hips. We're going to begin to drop our belly, lifting our gaze from the front edge of our mat up to in front of us and perhaps to the horizon. Exhale, tucking our tailbone in, lifting our shoulders up towards the ceiling. Your gaze is moving towards your belly button, and then you'll inhale, move into cat. Exhale, cat. Continuing this pattern on your own, listening to your body. We'll begin to find stillness here. Bringing our gaze back towards the front edge of our mat. Shifting if we need to do so. Inhale, lifting our left leg up. Continuing that straight line, you can check in with your back foot. We don't want to crank our leg up. It's one straight line from our head towards our toes. I want you to inhale, exhale, bringing your knee towards your chest, your forehead towards your knee. Inhale, lengthening. We're going to add on here. Inhale, lifting your right arm, extending that line. If this feels like too much in your body, I want you to just bring that right arm back down. If this feels good, think about inhaling and lengthening, exhaling, contracting, bringing your knee towards your elbow. Inhale, lengthen. We'll do that 3 more times. Inhale, lengthening, exhale, knee to elbow. Lengthening here for a moment, replacing our hand and gently replacing our knee. Finding stillness in our tabletop. We're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Inhale, lifting our right leg, checking in with it. Our toes are pointed. Our leg is in line with our back. Inhaling here. Exhale, bringing your knee towards your chest. Inhale, coming to a straight back. You can stay here, or you can inhale your left arm up towards the sky. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale. Moving at your own pace. Our last one here, we're lengthening, replacing our left hand and gently replacing our right knee. Finding ourselves in tabletop, taking a moment to listen to our bodies. Are there any movements you are craving right now? Perhaps another round of cat-cow, perhaps some C-curls, shifting our hips towards the left, bringing our gaze towards our hips. Shifting towards the right. From here, we're going to look at our hands, bringing our fingers towards our knees and stretch out our wrists. You can gently rock back and forth. Finding stillness. We'll take our fingers towards the long edge of our mat. Rocking side to side, continuing to stretch out our wrists. Bringing our arms forward, our fingers facing forward. Just a small trick here while you're in tabletop or downward facing dog. If you feel like your wrists, this is a lot of pressure on your wrists, you can do a few things. You can switch to having fists here, or if you want to keep your hands, you can fold over your mat once or twice, and then you're going to bring your hands on the mat and your fingertips more on the wood floor or whatever your floor is. And what that's going to do is that will open up the angle of your wrist, less like an L, and opening it up a bit more and relieve some of the stress there. So that's an option that you can take throughout this practice. Coming back into a tabletop, curling our toes. We're going to move into a very short downward facing dog. So we're lifting our hips, but really keeping our knees bent here. Taking a moment to look at our hands, our fingers are spread wide and we can feel all the corners of our hands really pushing us back, lengthening our back and pushing our chest towards our knees. For a moment here, I want you to see if you can lift your left hand. If this feels too wobbly for you, I want you to replace your hand. If it's feeling good, I want you to bring your left hand towards the outside of your right ankle, bringing your gaze towards the right side. Coming back into the short downward facing dog. We're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Taking a moment to shift your weight more into your left side, bringing your right arm just gently off the mat. If you can, it's traveling back towards the outside of our left ankle, and our gaze is moving towards the left underneath our armpit. Coming back into downward facing dog. We can shift our feet back just a little bit, lifting our hips, coming into a more normal downward facing dog. You can keep your knees bent here. You can begin to walk out your feet very slowly. Beginning to find stillness, pushing our chest towards our thighs, looking in between our legs, holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's bend our knees more, shift our gaze in between our hands, and gently walk into forward fold. Just like in downward facing dog, your knees can be bent here. If you're not feeling a stretch, then I want you to straighten out your legs. Let's take opposite hand to opposite elbow. Your gaze can be in between your shins or your ankles, releasing your neck. Bringing our hands down towards the mat. Think about bringing your belly towards your back and gently rolling yourself up into a standing position. The last thing to roll back is our shoulders and then our head. Now rotate our shoulders back, bringing our palms to face forward. Think about doing that same series of breath work that we did while we were in easy seated pose. So first, inhaling so that your knees are coming up towards the ceiling. Think about lifting your toes off of the mat, and then exhaling, bringing your toes down onto the mat so you're supported by all the corners of your feet. On our next inhale, we're going to lift our arms up towards the sky. Clasping our hands, exhaling, bringing our hands just about behind our back, flipping our palms up, coming over our head, exhaling our hands towards our side. Inhaling your arms up, clasping, bringing your hands down. Exhale, flip your palms up towards the sky, bringing our hands towards our sides. I want you to do this at your own pace. We'll do 2 more at your own pace. Let's inhale our arms up towards the sky one more time. Clasping our hands together, but bringing our palms up towards the sky. I'll come to the back of my mat so you can see me a little bit better. You're staying at the front of your mat. Inhale again. Exhale, bringing your hands towards the left side. We're coming into a variation of half moon standing. We're not collapsing. We're still very strong. Inhaling back towards center. Exhaling, repeating this on the right side. Coming back towards center, exhaling our hands down. We're going to move into a few sun salutations. Inhaling your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, flipping our palms towards the side walls and diving into forward fold. Bringing your hands towards your shins, straightening your back. Exhale, forward fold. Bending our knees, planting our hands. We're going to step our left foot back and step our right foot back. Inhale your hips up towards the sky. Think about just gently lifting your right foot up and then bringing your right knee towards your chest. Coming into a bit of a high plank, pushing yourself away from your mat. Stepping your right foot in between your hands, dropping your back knee and pointing your back toes. Inhale, lifting our arms up, low lunge. Taking our left hand just gently on our knee, bringing our right knee back, twisting, and bringing our gaze towards the right. Coming back up towards center. Exhale, framing our front foot. We'll recurl our back toes, lifting our back knee, stepping into high plank. Lifting into downward facing dog. Gently bringing our left leg up just a smidge, and then bringing our left knee towards our chest. High plank. Pushing the mat away with your hands, stepping your left foot in between your hands. Dropping our back knee, pointing our back toes. Inhale, coming up into low lunge. Taking our left hand behind us, our right hand towards our knee. We're twisting towards the left side. Inhaling back up to low lunge. Exhale, framing our front foot. We're going to curl our back toes, lifting our back knee. Stepping into high plank. And from here, we're going to slowly, on a count of 3, come all the way down to our mats. 3, lower a bit. 2, lower more. 1, finding our mats. Pointing our toes, bringing our feet together. Think about bringing your hands underneath your shoulders and your forehead to the mat. Inhale, we're going to gently lift our chest and our forehead off the mat. If we're coming up more deeply, our gaze is straight out in front of us. Exhale, bringing your forehead to the mat. Curling our toes, lifting our knees off the mat. We're going to push ourselves up into high plank on our next exhale. Inhale, exhale. Lifting our hips into downward facing dog, generously bending our knees and walking into forward fold. Inhale to a straight back, exhale, forward fold. Coming up to standing, bringing our arms over our head. Exhale, hands come into prayer. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, flipping your palms, facing the walls, diving into forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your back. Exhale, forward fold, bending our knees. We'll step our left foot and our right foot in to high plank, and then coming in to downward facing dog. Lifting our right foot a bit off the mat, and then bringing our right knee towards our chest, stepping our right foot in between our hands, dropping our back heel, pointing our back toes. Inhale, coming into low lunge. On your next exhale, bringing your left hand gently on your knee, your right hand behind you, facing the right wall and twisting. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, frame your front foot. Curling our back toes, lifting our back knee. We're going to step into high plank and then just lift our hips into downward facing dog. Gently bringing our left leg off the ground. We'll bring our left knee towards our chest, high plank, stepping our left foot in between our hands. Dropping our back knee and pointing our back toes. Inhale, coming up into low lunge. Taking our left hand behind us, our right hand gently towards our knee, twisting towards the left. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, framing that front foot. Recurling our back toes, lifting our back knee. We're going to step into high plank. From here, we're going to lower onto our mats in 3, 2, 1. Pointing our toes towards the back wall, bringing our legs together. Your hands are underneath your shoulders and your forehead is to the mat. With our hands on the ground, we're going to gently lift our forehead and our chest off the mat on our next inhale. Inhale, lift. With each inhale, see if you can grow a little bit up, bringing your gaze in front of you. Exhale, bringing your forehead to the mat. Recurling our toes, lifting our knees off the mat. Inhaling, exhaling, pushing yourself into high push-up, lifting your hips up towards the sky, downward facing dog. We'll bend our knees. We can take a lot of little steps into forward fold, or we can take one big step into forward fold. Inhale, straighten your back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, coming up to standing, hands overhead. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Let's inhale our arms up towards the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, straight back. Exhale, forward fold. Stepping our left foot back, stepping our right foot back, lifting our hips into downward facing dog. We're going to move into three-legged dog, planting our left foot, inhaling our right toes up towards the sky. Thinking about what feels good in your body. Perhaps it's bending your knee, opening up your hips, or making circles. Or perhaps what feels good in your body is just staying in a three-legged dog. Let's all lengthen our right leg. Inhale deeply. Exhale, bringing your right elbow towards your right knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, right elbow comes towards your left knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, right knee comes towards your chest, stepping in between our hands. Taking our back heel and dropping it towards the mat. Inhaling your arms up into warrior one. Our hips are facing forward and our shoulders are facing forward. With our arms raised and energized, check in with your shoulders. We want them resting. We don't want them up at our ears. That could cause some injury. Inhale. Exhale, framing that front foot. Recurling our back toes. We'll step back into high plank. In this high plank, we're going to do 6 knee drops. Dropping our left knee, bring it back up. Dropping our right knee, and up. Moving at your own pace. If this is too much, you can stay still. Coming into high push-up. Exhaling, finding our way on the mat. Pointing our toes, bringing our legs together. We're going to take our arms by our side, palms facing down. Bringing our forehead to the mat. On our next inhale, we're going to lift our legs and then lift our chest. Think about getting just a tiny bit higher with each inhale. Exhale, bringing your left cheek towards the mat. Let's bring our forehead back to the mat. Inhale, lift. Lifting our chest, lifting our feet. Exhale, bringing your right cheek towards the mat. Bringing our forehead back. This is our last locus for now. Inhale, lift. Your hands are on the mat. Your knees and your legs are off the mat. Your chest is lifted. One more inhale. See if you can get a little bit higher. Exhale, coming down. Bringing our hands underneath our shoulders. We're going to curl our toes. And we can come back into high push-up by lifting our knees and pushing ourselves up on an exhale. Or if that's too much right now, you can keep your knees on the mat and you can lift up into modified high push-up. Inhale, exhale, lift, coming back into downward facing dog. Centering our right toes a bit, we're going to inhale, coming into three-legged dog on the left side. Keeping your leg up in the sky here, or bending at your knee, shifting a bit to the side, or making circles. Opening up our hips, feeling our strength, and knowing that whatever you're doing right now is what's right for your body. Let's re-lengthen our left leg. Exhale, bringing your left elbow towards your left knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bringing your left knee towards your right elbow. Sorry, lost my thoughts there. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, your knee towards your chest and stepping through. Looking at your back foot, we're going to drop our back heel. Inhale our arms up into warrior one. You're bringing your hips forward, your shoulders are forward, and your gaze is forward. Inhale. Exhale, framing that front foot, recurling your back toes, stepping into high plank. Staying here in high plank. We're doing 6 knee dips. Bringing your knee down, opposite knee. This was going to be 10 knee dips, so we should be happy that it's only 6. Inhale, exhale, lowering our body towards the mat. Our legs are together, our toes are pointed. We're going to bring our arms by our side, palms on the mat. We'll move into the same pose here. The only thing that's going to be different is that we're also going to lift our arms, which will help some of us lift our chest a bit more. I'll demonstrate. So I'm lifting my arms, it's bringing my shoulders back, my legs are lifted, and my chest is lifted. With each inhale, I'm growing a little bit taller, and then taking a deep exhale, coming down towards my mat. On your inhale, I want you to lift. Lifting your legs, lifting your chest, and lifting your arms. Thinking that your fingertips could reach the back wall. Exhale, bringing your right cheek towards the mat. Bringing our forehead back towards the mat. We're going to repeat locust. Inhale, lift. You might notice yourself just getting a little bit higher with each time you're doing this. Exhale, bringing your left cheek towards the mat. Celebrate those small victories. What's working for you in this position? What are you surprising yourself about? We're doing it one more time. Bringing our forehead to the mat. Inhaling deeply and lifting. Can you bend your knees? Can you find your legs? Think about lifting just a bit more. Exhale, coming down. Bringing our hands underneath our shoulders. We'll come into high push-up or modified high push-up on your next exhale. Curling your toes, keeping your knees on the mat. If you're moving into modified high push-up, or keeping your knees off of the mat for high push-up. Inhale, exhale. Pushing up, lifting those hips into downward facing dog. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's bend our knees. Take one step into forward fold. We want to bring our feet towards underneath our shoulders, about shoulders width apart. And I want you to take your peace fingers and we're going to wrap those around our big toes. And you can have your knees more bent here, but if you'd like a deeper stretch, you can start to straighten out those legs and bend your elbows, bringing your chest closer to your legs. Letting your head just hang loose here. Finding comfort in this active resting position. We'll release our toes, and we're going to gently come up and roll up into Tadasana. Take a moment to look at your feet. We're going to heel toe them so they're touching. We're going to start to bend into our knees, making ourselves into a chair and bringing our arms here or all the way up. Start to bring your hands in towards your chest. We're going to take our left elbow and bring it over towards our right knee. You can keep your hands in prayer here, or you can extend your arms, having one line of energy from both hands, dropping your butt. Your gaze is at the sidewall. Coming back into center. Your legs might be burning a little bit here. Mine certainly are. And we're going to take now that on the opposite side. Bringing our right elbow over our left knee. Staying here or finding one long line of energy. Dropping our butts, keeping each other aware of what we're doing, challenging ourselves, coming back towards center for a little bit of extra burn. Taking your heels off the mat, coming onto your tippy toes. We're going to start to bring our bottoms all the way to the mat. You can use your hands to help you. Coming down onto your butt. Bringing your feet flat on the mat, your knees pointing up towards the sky. We're going to move into a little bit of an ab circuit, because what would strength be without our core? Okay, we're going to come into boat. But the exercise that we do with boat will be a little bit different. So it's not get intimidated by boat. We can all do it. We all have a core. You can bring your hands just behind your hips. And then you're going to lift your legs straight out. Your toes are pointing to the front wall. Inhaling, exhaling. On your next inhale, we're going to lengthen, bringing ourselves very close to the mat, but not touching the mat, with our feet or our head. Exhaling, coming back to that original boat pose. That's 1. That's 2. We're going to go up to 10, moving at your own pace. Finding ourselves in boat, taking our hands now towards our thighs, and we're going to just rock onto our back. We'll bring our legs down on towards the mat. Bring our hands just slightly underneath us. We'll point our toes towards that front wall. Inhale, bringing your legs up. Exhale, bringing them down, not touching the mat. Inhale, exhale, that's 2. Inhale, exhale, 3. Inhale, exhale, 4. Inhale, exhale, 5. Inhale, exhale, 6. Inhale, exhale, 7. Inhale, exhale, 8. Inhale, exhale, 9. Inhale, exhale, 10. Bring them up one more time. Take your hands together, clasp them, keeping your index fingers out. We'll point towards the left side, reaching up 10 times. Coming back towards center, pointing towards the right 10 times. Bringing your knees towards your chest, your forehead towards your knees. I want you to just whisper a little thank you to yourself for showing up, for doing the work. This is not easy, and it's not always fun, but it's important, and it's important you're taking this time for yourself. We're gonna keep our knees towards our chest. I'm a bit out of breath. Begin to settle our breath, inhaling through our nose, exhaling through our mouths. Taking your hands, bringing them on the inside of your thighs. We're gonna grab hold of our feet, finding happy baby. If you can't find your feet, I want you to keep your hands on your shins. From here, we're gonna take ourselves back into a little ball. Think about rocking yourselves into staff pose. Keeping our legs out straight. Rolling our back up. Finding our sit bones. Inhaling your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, coming down into seated forward fold. If you're not finding your toes here, I want you to bring your hands towards your shins or your ankles, wherever they land naturally. Coming back up to a straight back. We're going to bring our feet flat on the ground. Our hands behind us like we were in boat. And we're just going to simply move into a figure 4. So taking our left ankle, crossing it over the top of our right thigh, and seeing how this feels. If this is feeling too tight for you, you can scooch back a bit, or you can step that right foot forward. But finding the stretch that's good for you. Our shoulders are rolled back. begin to replace our foot and windshield wipe your legs here. We're gonna do the same thing on the opposite side, so when you feel ready, refinding your position, taking your right ankle and crossing it over your left thigh. I was a bit distracted by how much tighter I am on this side to find my words there. You might find that you're tighter on one side than the other, and that's natural. To help that, we need to balance both sides of the body. I took a yoga class last night, and it was so funny. I was taking it and I was in the middle of the kitchen. I had my computer out. I couldn't figure out the Zoom on my computer, so then I had my phone out and doing all these positions. I'm in the middle of like Warrior Two. It just made me think of how strange 2020 has been. And although there's been so much, negative things, and we could go on, talk about that for a very long time, there's been some really good things. We've definitely, let's bring our feet down, windshield wipe a little bit. We've broken down barriers, or like these ideas that we've had of our lives and what our lives look like to people on the outside. Let's bring our feet together, finding down ankle. Leaning towards your feet with a straight back. It made me think that in 2020, we've really had to just show our lives, right? We have these screens, we're in our houses, there's things going on in the background. So much is just uncontrollable. And it's almost made us, I don't know, for me, the human experience feel more real. More like, you can see what people are going through. More, I can step in one of my coworkers' shoes and understand, yeah, she does have a lot going on, or he does have a lot going on, and I can see it through the screen, or I can imagine it because I saw it once. And it just kind of helps us, in my opinion, understand that we all are people. We've all had to open up our homes, our private spaces to these screens, or had to be vulnerable or let out emotion, right now, to people that maybe once we thought more were strangers. And I think if we just think about that, think about the year, maybe that's a positive that we can find. Let's bring our knees back together. I want you to bring your knees really close to your body and bring your forehead towards your knees. Continue to stay. Your focus on this mat. Your focus with this community. Think about that intention that you made at the beginning of class. Did that stay with you? What things worked? What things didn't work? What did you learn about yourself? Begin to release. We'll straighten our legs, reclining onto our backs. We're just going to move into 2 more poses. Bringing our knees back towards our chest, dropping our knees towards the left. Bringing your arms up to a T and your gaze towards the right when you're ready. Bring your knees back up towards center, dropping your knees towards the right, bringing your gaze towards the left. Allow your knees to sink a bit. Bringing your knees back up. If there's any last poses or stretches you would like to do, please do so. If you're feeling ready for our final resting pose, then I want you to straighten your legs up, bring your arms towards your side, and then have your palms face the sky. Gently begin to close your eyes. Breathe, and movement will come. Move, and stillness will arrive. Be, the door will open. I want you to just quietly, in your head, think about why you wanted to join this program. Think about what excited you about signing up. What was your intention? Think about what's evolved in the last week and a half. For me, I created this program so we could connect, so we could depend on one another and know that we're not alone. I didn't realize how much I needed that until we started class a week and a half ago. I'm so thankful that you all decided to show up, sign up, and be part of this community, especially as things are beginning to shift a little bit in the outside world. Gently begin to welcome some small movements into your body. Allow those movements to make small waves, going to different parts of your body. And when you feel ready, I want you to curl up towards whichever side feels more comfortable for you. Finding yourself in fetal position. And then gently, very gently and slowly, with your eyes closed, coming into a seated position. From here, let's bring our hands to heart center in prayer. honoring our heart, the things that we love. We'll bring our hands up towards our chin, honoring the kind words we say and speak, honoring those that we communicate with, bringing our thumb towards our third eye, honoring our thoughts. Inhale our arms up towards the sky. Exhale, bringing our hands back to heart center. Namaste. I want to thank you all for coming to class. I just feel really good about this class. I feel great about this program. I'm inspired by all of you taking these classes, and I'm just feeling really good about this community and being able to have this sort of connection and making the most of what we're given with. So thank you. I'm excited for a 30-minute restorative class on Saturday. It'll be at 9:30 until 10 a.m. My suggestion, as always, for restorative yoga is to bring an open mind, to bring a few pillows, a blanket, maybe some layers. You might want a pair of socks. I really hope that practice on Saturday will be a great way to kick off our weekend. So thank you, everyone. As always, if you have any questions or if you have any requests, please let me know. You can send me an email. You can write something on the Google Classroom stream, whatever you want. All right. Bye, everyone.